If you like physical media, you're going to want to stick around and see what we got. I'm talking the Franchise Hall of Death. Let's check it out. All right, so next to me is a very large box full of items from some pretty amazing people. Some of them from companies that send me stuff to watch, like MVD Entertainment, and some of these are from just people who want to donate to the podcast, to the YouTube, to whatever for me to review. I have been extremely fortunate to have such wonderful people support this channel to give you guys content. I hope you enjoy this because it'll give you some ideas of some movies that you might want to check out, some franchises you didn't know existed maybe. There's individual movies and stuff in here that I think that you will really enjoy and might want to write down to watch. I'm going to go through these as fast as I possibly can. Big shout out to MVD, Resolution, and anybody who sent me anything. I will try my best to remember if you sent me something because there's just so much. I bought some of these things too, by the way, just to be fucking clear, okay? I'm not an asshole. I buy stuff too. But I am thankful and thank you guys for making this video happen. If you enjoy hauls, please watch it to the end. Let it run in the background. I don't care. I want to get some big views, some big likes, heavy watching on this video because it deserves it for all the support I've gotten. So please do so. Without further ado, let's get into this franchise of horror haul. Now, I don't know exactly where to start. I'm just gonna go where my hand puts me. I tried to organize these as best I could in the box. First up, we got Beyond the Gates. Press play and pray. Now, if you guys remember this is based off one of those old VHS board games. It's been a while since I've seen this. It was very creative, very low budget. It had a lot of great ideas in it. I don't remember if I loved it or not, but I don't remember it being a bad thing. If you haven't seen this is totally 80s. Got that holy vibe about it. It's really kind of fun. This was given to me by Resolution. In fact, a lot of these were. If they're not his, I will say they're mine or MVD's since it'll be easier that way. So thank you, Resolution, up front.
The final key and become one with your new reality.
Okay, here's one that's different. This is from A24. This is Stop Making Sense. It is from the Talking Heads. They're 4K. If you've never seen A24 video stuff, and like they do scripts, they do all kinds of books. Yeah, they do some like really cool releases here. I don't know what the hell this is. Oh, this is just your receipt. Premium packaging. The disc, the 4K live set of Talking Heads. And then it has like a booklet just so you can see. David Byrne, if you're a fan of him, he's been in so many different things, involved with so many different people who make music. Just a really unique voice, but yeah, we had to get this. Big fans. If you're a fan, let me know in the comments section. You're probably like, I don't like anything but metal. That's fine. Up next, we got Afterlife, or After, which is about afterlife. It's a DVD indie movie that Resolution told me that I should check out, that he thought was pretty good. Like there's something about it that he wanted me to see, so he got this for me. Two people who get in a bus crash. They're survivors who wake up from a coma to discover they're the only inhabitants of a small American town. It's slowly being swallowed by a monstrous storm. Are they dead? Are there creatures? Very cool. One of those movies that a lot of people probably forgot about, but up next, we got the Kingdom Trilogy. Now, Mubi is a service, if you see that right there, that does like TV and stuff like that. They're like a newer streaming service, but they also put out like these box sets of like stuff. Lars von Trier, who did like Antichrist and like, you know, The House That Jack Built and all these like really messed up movies. He had a TV show called The Kingdom Trilogy that was 3 seasons long. 2 seasons were like back in the 90s, but it's a Danish-Swedish comedic horror TV show, but it was mostly like really serious, but it had like humorous stuff in it. They stopped the show after 2 seasons and then brought it back here within the last few years I've never even finished this. I remember watching it. I barely remember anything about it. It's an amazing, director. So he does some really wild stuff in this show, and I'm really glad to have it. So any fans, let me know. Up next, we got, this one's heavy. Highlander, the complete TV series. Now, this came out after the movie, which I also have on 4K, I got a few movies here. I actually got Endgame on Blu-ray and Highlander 3. I think there's a part 2. I don't think that came in any of these. And I'm not sure if part 2, if Endgame is part 2. The TV show came out after the first movie, I believe. Completely different person or whatever, different story and everything. That plus the Highlander the Raven series, which came out later on, that they tried to continue the series on. I heard that this looks really good in 4K, and I have not seen the other sequels in forever, so going down this rabbit hole is going to be a lot of fun. Christopher Lambert and other people were in these, so it's going to be interesting to see.
You know what some wags call me? Slam the cat.
Because I like to play with my victims first.
Another franchise, Bagow. We got Phantasm, and this says all of them. Phantasm, you got Phantasm 2, 3, 4, and 5, Ravager. Ravager is peculiar taste. If you're a fan of Phantasm, you really have to be a fan of Phantasm to really appreciate the other ones, and I find that the more you watch them, the more fascinated you get with the lore. So some people didn't really like the later sequels, but I really do. I actually have a whole set of these already, so I may actually give these out at some point in time. If you haven't signed up for our giveaways, they're pretty good, and there's not always so many people that sign up, but as long as your name's in the hat and you open those emails pretty regularly to see what we got coming out, it's just an emailer I do once a month now, maybe once a week when I got the podcast going, but just let you know when we got stuff out. So it's just to stay in touch, and I can give you stuff like this. But yeah, super cool. I love Phantasm. Who doesn't? Up next, we got Dead End Drive-In, which is an Australian release. They have a couple of different versions. I think Umbrella put out a new pack that's, I don't know if it's 4K or not, but I think they have like a whole new, like really big collector's edition. But this is a movie that a lot of people really, really love, and I have never seen it, and I need to see it. So I'm definitely going to be watching this and sometime soon. If you're a fan, should I watch this sooner than later? See, we got next Violet with 2 T's. Now, I'm going to be upfront with you about this. This is a release directly from the directors. Now, if you see the back of this, you can see that it's like a black disc that they printed it on. It's actually directly from that company. They couldn't afford to get distribution, but I have heard nothing but good things about this movie, and it is on Amazon. I meant to review it sooner than later, and I just got so busy that I haven't had a chance to watch it, but this is on my list to watch real soon. In fact, I'm going to lay it over here so I don't forget to watch it real soon. So, a series of strange childhood disappearances have plagued a small rural town. Sonia, a sick and disturbed mother, fears unspeakable evil will snatch her 11-year-old. As bizarre characters in the neighborhood emerge, Sonia is about to discover more than one shocking truth. But yeah, I've heard this is amazing.
I see you.
Up next, we got The Shrine Uncut. And this is a Region B, The Shrine. This is one movie that I remember in the theaters. I don't know if I went and saw it in the theater, but I know that it was like something about the Philippines, I think. But there's like a journalist who goes somewhere to like discover it. This is a German release, actually. I haven't seen this in a long time, and I don't remember it being all that bad. It's a very supernatural film. But yeah. Up next, we got Life Changer, which I ordered online because I saw the trailer of this and it looked really bizarre. If you've ever like looked on IMDb, I do this very frequently because I like to find stuff that I haven't seen before. And so oftentimes IMDb will go and give you suggestions of movies that are like it, or people that like this movie that you're looking up, like these movies. And so this was under one of them, and I can't remember what it was at the time, but this looked really cool. It's a really trippy movie. It's kind of very independent, and so I was like kind of into it. It's by Justin McDowell. But yeah, it played at Fantasia and Fright Fest. I mean, it may not be like a 10 out of 10, but who cares? You know, sometimes movies are made specifically for other people, and this is a really weird one. So I'll try to show you some of the trailer on this. Up next. So this is a Ryan Reynolds film that is very cosmic, very meta, very supernatural in a way. This movie is not what you expect it to be. It is not a comedy like you would expect. It's essentially about Ryan Reynolds, a couple of different characters in there. He's an actor, a writer, and a designer, and he plays like 3 different roles, but it's really extremely mind-bending how you watch this. This is a very underrated film. I saw this because when Netflix first went to streaming, this was one of the movies that they had on it. It's called The Nines, and I popped it on and I couldn't stop watching it, and I've watched it multiple times since, and now I finally have a Blu-ray copy of it, which I'm super excited about. It's a super metaphysical movie, that mind-bending, like it'll make you think about reality kind of movie, and it's really good. So if you like those kind of movies that trip you out and make you feel vibey, watch it. That one, by the way, I got from Hamilton Book, which is a really good source for cheaper movies, along with this movie, which is Retribution, The Ultimate Nightmare, this is an 80s movie. This is a specific box cover front. Severin put these out, but Hamilton Book got a few that were, you know, these were like released and sold out of, you know, and Severin didn't really sell the cases or anything, but I found this one on Hamilton Book for like $20, and it's a special online edition that I got for like $20, and it's going for like $60 everywhere else. So I was like, yoink, I'm gonna get this. But this is about some guy who is existing. He wakes up one day and another version of him exists, and one of them is like really evil and one of them is really good, and they are trying to coexist in this world. And when they join forces, somehow things start to go haywire and the whole world starts coming apart. It's done in a really straight up 80s way, but that's essentially what it is. I've never seen this movie. It's just bananas. I definitely want to watch it. Up next, I did a review of this one. This is about a guy that's come back from Vietnam War. One of the first Vietnam War movies that's done in a horror fashion. So this guy comes back from war dead, essentially, or so we wonder, because his family gets a word the night before that their son didn't make it. And so then they go into their rooms and they're crying and wishing that he was alive. And then the next day he comes knocking at their door. It's kind of like The Monkey's Paw, if you've ever seen that story, where they make a wish that he comes back, but when he comes back, things ain't right. This is actually a pretty cool movie. I really actually enjoyed this one, and it was in 4K. It's from Blue Underground, actually. They put this out recently, and I did a whole review on it. So if you want to check it out, watch that. Up next, we got Found Footage 3D. See this? Now, I don't remember if I really liked this one a whole lot or not. I remember I got really kind of mad because when this was on Shudder, it was one of their first originals, like early on. And the directors were like, hey, if you watch this movie and you write us, we'll send out our glasses to you so that you can watch this in 3D. And because they have a 3D version, both versions were on Shudder, I believe. And I wrote them immediately and said, hey, give me a pair. And I never got it. And I wrote them and they're like, oh yeah, we ran out. I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, so this is the Blu-ray DVD release on Hamilton Book. This actually includes the retro 3D glasses. It's a found footage film that is actually pretty decent. It's not so bad. There's some pretty good stuff in it. Wasn't perfect, but I actually didn't mind it, and I really am glad to have a copy of this now. I think I got it for like $3.99 on Hamilton Book. Up next, a real deep sci-fi thinker by Andrei Tarkovsky, which Solaris I've never seen. Yes, I know. I've never seen it. It is one that I want to watch and kind of review. I may not review it on the channel or not, and Resolution got me this. There's a few of these that I haven't seen, and I kind of find Tarkovsky fascinating, even though his movies are very hard for some people to watch. Solaris, I do remember being a better film. Like, I've heard people say that it's a lot easier to watch than his other movie, Stalker. So sci-fi, hard sci-fi kind of stuff. So for those sci-fi heads out there, this is one that you might want to check out. Up next, we did a podcast on Unnameable 2. Christina and I, we do podcasts, and we were doing it on video, and we will be bringing it back, guys. I've just been super fucking busy. But this is an H.P. Lovecraft character called The Unnameable. Part 2 is like with the same characters from the first movie. We kind of like this one a little bit better, but we did a whole review on it if you want to check it out on the channel. All right, up next, we got Romeo is Bleeding. And this is with Gary Oldman, a very young Gary Oldman, Lena Olin, Annabella Scorio, and Juliette Lewis. And it is sort of a thriller sort of movie, a thriller drama. Resolution said that this was a movie that he could never really shake, and so he wanted me to try it out. And I'm actually kind of excited to check it out because Christina likes to watch a lot of thrillers, specifically like this. And Gary Oldman, come on, Juliette Lewis, why not? All right, let's go through these. So we got John Wick, another franchise here, guys. John Wick chapters 1 through 3 and 4 on 4K. So I actually had a couple of these, but not all of them on 4K. So I'm actually, now I got the whole thing, so I might be giving away some of those if you guys are ever interested. Up next, we got Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich, which, if you don't remember, Fangoria had fallen apart and some new entity had come in. A producer had come in to buy Fangoria. I did an entire episode with the original owner and creator of Fangoria. If you've ever wanted to check that out, I sat down. Very cool, very awesome guy. And I even afterwards got to speak to the newer owner of Fangoria. And now there's even newer owners of Fangoria since then. So like they've been bought a couple of times since then. But when they first came out, they came out with this title, The Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich. And actually, this was a really fun movie. It took a little while to get started, but I really liked it. And they had a whole new group of like toys and like puppets or whatever that were going around killing people. It was a little bit silly, and it had Tom Lemon in it from, you know, Reno 911, a bunch of other stuff, but it was really pretty funny. And it got better as it went along. So I really like this, and it's in 4K. Up next, we got, bam, The Puppet Master 12 movie Blu-ray collection. Digitally restored and remastered. It literally has all of the movies here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got Curse of the Puppet Master, so five, and then Curse of the Puppet Master, Retro Puppet Master, Puppet Master Legacy, Puppet Master Access the Evil, Puppet Master Access Rising, Puppet Master Access Termination, and Arcana of the Puppet Master that are in this 12 set, which is fucking awesome. So I got that one, and I also got Blade, the Iron Cross, which I have not seen yet, and it is one of the continuations. They've done a couple of other Full Moon movies that they've made since then, but this is the continuation of it, and this is a special feature on Blu-ray. So yeah, that's huge, dude. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna watch all of those. Trying to go through these as fast as possible, guys. Another franchise. Can you tell which one it is, guys? It's the Friday the 13th Collection Deluxe Edition, which is fucking phenomenal. I wanted to get this for a long time. I have one of the other ones, the tin one, but this has all the individual movies in it, which includes the uncut Jason Goes to Hell. That was missing in the other one. So, and I love that they have each of their own, you know, individual cases. They have double-sided, you know, ones in here, but most of you guys have already gotten this. I never did. Finally got it now, thanks to Resolution. You fucking crazy man. You crazy man. This also comes with the bonus features and it's like a documentary of it, which is like 6 hours long, I think. This booklet. So I'm super glad to have this and have it a part of the whole collection.
You don't understand. There is a maniac trying to kill us.
Welcome to New York.
Up next, we got another one called Pandemonium, which MVD also sent out. This is a afterlife film by Quarks, which I did a review of. I thought it was pretty cool. It's kind of like an anthology of like different ideas by the same director. I like it. I thought it was pretty cool, but if you want a little bit more in depth about why I liked it, check it out and what it's all about. Pretty cool little release here. Some people said it was I think Pizzawell said it was like one of his favorite movies of the year. So some people didn't like it, some people did. I was like somewhere in the middle. Up next, we got Electric Dreams, Electric. Ooh. This is about a computer that comes to life by a guy spilling his Pepsi on the computer. It ends up falling in love with the same girl that the human is, and they go to battle over that girl. And it was one of those 80s movies that had a lot of like 80s tracks in it that I just absolutely loved. And some of the music was actually from Giorgio Moroder and Phil Oakey, which, you know, if you know Giorgio, he was the guy that did the fucking Blade Runner music. So I was kind of curious about this as a kid anyway, but I loved it. I rewatched it all the time. It's like a romantic comedy, but it's like super crazy about a computer taking over this guy's life and like connecting to him in weird ways, like through his pager and shit in the 80s. But I love this movie and I'm glad to finally have it on Blu-ray. Region B movie, but I just had to have it and I have a player that plays it. So up next, we got The Abyss in 4K, baby. Yes, pounding on a woman's chest to bring her back to life.
You bet you never backed away from anything in your life. Now fight! Fight!
And aliens under the sea and crazy people trying to destroy them. It's a wonderful movie by James Cameron. Anyway, this is a 4K version of the movie. It's not even had a Blu-ray in forever. They did a whole new sort of AI scan of this one, I think, and some people like it and some people don't. The scan of it anyway, but I thought it looked pretty damn good. And this has both this is the Ultimate Collector's Edition, so it has the theatrical version, the special edition on both 4K and Blu-ray, and you get the bonus features on one of the Blu-rays, so there's like 3 discs in here. It can't rain all the time, guys. But when it does, it's Brandon Lee's The Crow.
It can't rain all the time. Tears won't fall forever.
So The Crow is one of those movies that I have a weird feel. It's like nostalgic and I like it, but I also watched it again and some of it feels a little try hard for me, but I do like it. And I heard that this particular release in 4K looks fucking awesome. And I haven't even had a chance to watch it yet. Are you a fan? Are you somewhere with me? I know people get really mad at me when I talk about that movie. Up next, speaking of sad, Vinegar Syndrome's The Sadness release. That's right, mother fathers. And I just did a interview with this director, Rob Jabaz. Vinegar Syndrome fucking put out a really nice release. I think this is probably one of the best releases. It really just kind of depends on your interests, but this is the slipcover. It's got 2 different things on the back. They like really went to town on this one. Then you got that. You get the Blu-ray and the 4K of The Sadness and this booklet. What a release, dude. To have I already had this on 4K and I bought it a second time because I just love this movie. A lot of people say it's like too much. I don't think so. I think they really kind of like pull back enough. And Rob and I talked about it on the interview. If you haven't watched that interview, shame on you. That man's very talented and I hope he does something really cool in the future. And we'll be here to tell you about it when it does. But yeah, did any of you get the 4K setup for this one? The 3-movie collection of Scream on 4K. 1, 2, and 3. Part 4 Part 5, which is just Scream, and Part 6. Super fucking cool. Thank you, Resolution. Holy shit, another franchise. We got the 4K Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. I almost wish that they had the original version of it on VHS included in this, because I feel like everybody should experience it how we kind of saw it on TV for so many years, you know? But yeah, I'm kind of crazy curious about seeing this in 4K. I know that it's a gritty movie and some people really prefer it gritty, but you know. Also got the 4K of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which is a Vinegar Syndrome release as well. We also have Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, which everybody hates for some reason, and I can't remember it. I know I've seen it, I just don't remember exactly what it's about. Up next, we got another hated, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, which has your boy Matthew McConaughey in it. And he's just got a weird leg and he crushes some woman's head with his foot. And it sounds really funny when she squeaks. I don't know. I used to like this movie. I used to watch it. It's funny watching Matthew McConaughey in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. What do you want from me? Up next, we got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, which is fantastic. One of my favorite in the entire franchise, by the way. Also have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2012. It's just Texas Chainsaw, they called it. Both the standard and the 3D version on it on one disc. We also got Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Beginning. Witness the Birth of Fear from 2013. And even this one's pretty rare. I didn't even know that Netflix put this out, but this is the guys who did Inside, Julian Maury and Alexandre Bustillo, who did Inside, did their little take on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's sort of the origin story of. This one was a weird one. I know some people like defend it. I don't know what the fuck, dude. Like, what were they thinking in this one? It doesn't even make sense logically, but I still, you know, it's nice to have all of these to be able to talk about and watch and see again, because I didn't have hardly any of these except for a few DVDs. Oh shit, another franchise. Can you guess which one it is? We got Halloween in 4K, Halloween 2 in 4K, Halloween 3 in 4K, Halloween 4 in 4K, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers in 4K. I got the producer's cut actually as well, but this is Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers 666. Of course, Resurrection and H2O. Pretty cool. Very cool resolution. Jesus fucking Christ. This is insane, guys. Like, this is like legit insane. And there's more. Seriously, if you make it to the end of this, you're a fucking champ. So we got the 4K, the original Saw with Carrie Lewis, the unrated version that you can get. But I also got the entire 8-film collection that goes all the way up to Jigsaw in this one. But he also bought those. So he got Jigsaw in 4K, the Spiral in 4K, the newest X in 4K. So I am set, which, man, this is fucking amazing, dude. Like, I'm like kind of caught off guard, man. Like, now that I'm looking at this again, as it was coming in, like there was just pieces of it coming in, dude. And I'm just like, what? Like, what is going on? Guys, now first up, before I get into this, there was another haul that I did that was a ginormous haul that some people didn't see, some people did. It was called the Tower of Horror haul. This isn't the biggest haul as that one. So if you want to see that one, you're going to want to check this link right here. Also, I got another franchise here that this is extended. I got Hellraiser 1, 2, 3, and 4, the like set for that, the like nice set that they put out on, I think it was Arrow, that had the slide out where you could see the skull and everything. And he went out and got the Hellraiser Bloodline, Inferno, Hellseeker, and Hellworld. I think the only one that I'm missing is Revelations, and he even got Hellraiser Judgment. Obviously, they didn't put out a release of the newest Hellraiser, or would probably have that. Would love that they would do that. They put out the fucking Predator one. Not sure why they won't put the other one out. All right, I'm gonna go through a couple of these since I just did reviews of them real quick. We got The World of Kanako. Amazing film. I gave it like a pretty high score. If you want to check out the review, you can. Sonny Chiba's Beast Fighter, which is 2 movies. It's Karate Bullfighter and Karate Bear Fighter. He does both. That one's from Eureka, by the way, and this one is from MVD Visual and Drafthouse Films, by the way. This one's Eureka 2-set. They're doing pretty good releases for Japanese stuff. We also have an Unearthed Homework movie that just came out here recently. It's an Unearthed classic. Another franchise, Final Destination 5 film collection on Blu-ray. Pretty dope. Been wanting to go down this hole to rewatch these again. I have a feeling they're gonna put out probably put out a set when the new movie comes out this year. Supposedly it comes out this year, or is it next year? I can't wait for it. I want to see it, and I have to go through these to watch it, so we'll see. Another Lynch film that I got, Blue Velvet. This just recently came out. It's a Criterion release of the movie. There's the hotel number. If you're not a David Lynch fan and you like weird movies that are kind of like film noir a little bit and kind of artistic, art house style film, he does some really crazy stuff. This is one that I need to rewatch again because I'll be honest, like I was always a fan of a few of his, like in some of them I wasn't like a big fan of, but this one a lot of my friends really love, and I know it's a good one. I haven't seen it in a while, but to have it in 4K now is even more amazing. I mean, I would eventually love to have everything of his, so we're getting there. Resolution and a few other people have helped with that, so thank you. A couple more that I did reviews of. The Miracle Fighters. This is a Eureka film. Really enjoyed this. It's a kung fu martial arts kind of fantasy movie. The Guyver in 4K, by the way. This is the Blu-ray CD soundtrack limited collector's edition from Unearthed. If you like The Guyver, get it. Totally worth it. Looks amazing. Another one that looks really amazing is Ghoulies 2 in 4K from MVD. MVD Entertainment sent all these ones that I named off just recently here. They sent a lot out to me to review, so I have reviews of each of these up on the channel. These all look fantastic. Speaking of full moon here, we got Dr. Mordred. Jeffrey Combs is Dr. Mordred, the master of the unknown.
This man's gotta die.
This is one I remember watching, but I don't remember much about it. I haven't seen it in so long. I love Jeffrey Combs, so I'm sure I'll enjoy it. Full Moon was like one of those things when I grew up. Really loved it. Pierce Brosnan in Nomads, which is just a really weird film that I have not seen in forever. And I can't remember exactly what the premise is. It's batshit. It said there are angels who patrol Los Angeles, and then there are the nomads. Post-apocalyptic movie. In any case, I'm super glad to have a copy of this because I just like weird 80s films and stuff like that. So franchise. Got Alien Nation. Or just Nation, but it's yeah, it's a region A, B, and C. But this was a huge movie back in the day, and they made a TV series off of it. Very cool to have. I've been wanting to watch these again because they were such a big 80s and like early, I think it was early 90s it even went into. TV series come out after the first one. It was like all kind of tied together. So like they did the TV series, and then they made all of these movies. There's this collection, the Alien Nation Ultimate Movie Collection, which Alien Nation, Dark Horizon, Body and Soul, Millennium, the Enemy Within, and the Udara Legacy. And it even shows you the dates right here from 94, 95, 96, 96, and 97. So I have the entire franchise right here. Another franchise. So yeah, this one's actually got put out a while ago, but this is the House, the collection, and it's unopened. Actually, this was, I don't know if this is, they're still selling this, but this said it was region B. but as I recall, it played all of them fine in my Xbox and everything. So it was really weird. I remember some people were saying that online, that this actually isn't Region B. Yeah, you can play this on Region B or all region, but yeah, very cool set. The first one is probably, and the second one are so vastly different that the third is so vastly different, and then the fourth is just insane too. Christina and I went over I think we went over this franchise, but super cool. This is a great box set. It's got the like case, so you can like put it on the shelf, make it look nice like that. Up next, we got Hideshi Hino's Theater of Horror. Now, Hideshi Hino, I believe, is a manga writer and has done a lot of manga, a lot of comic books. And these are like the live action versions of it called the Theater of Horror. These used to sell for like $10 for the whole series. And this is what you get. The Boy from Hell, Dead Girl Walking, Lizard Boy, The Ravaged House, Zoroku's Disease, Occult Detective Club, and The Doll Cemetery, and Death Train. Now this set has become more and more rare. So I believe it was $60 when he picked this up, which is actually a smoking good deal because it was at one point in time selling for over $300. So this is becoming more and more rare, and it was completely unopened, and I got a copy of all of it. These are some wild ones. I actually did a review of The Boy from Hell, which was some dark ass shit, man. It was about this kid who these parents wanted to keep him alive, so they like did some sort of like cult thing, and in doing so, it made him like a flesh hungry beast. And if he didn't eat, he would get like all messed up and distorted and stuff. And it was really messed up. Like there was some really dark stuff in it, but you know, these are very independent, small budget, like straight to video movies over in Japan. A lot of people didn't like, they're kind of an acquired taste, but if you like live action, sort of like Asian cult cinema, and you like manga that are just like horror, which is kind of rare in the manga space a little bit, mostly fantasy and all the other stuff is more popular. This is one that, you know, if you like Uzumaki, you know, Junji Ito's style, this is kind of like a smaller budget of it. But yeah, I am so glad to finally have that. Up next, yeah, we're almost done here, guys. So if you guys are making it to the end, because this is for those diehards out there that like to watch these fucking videos. Also, we got Repo Man from the Criterion Collection, which actually this just got a 4K release, but you know, this is a classic. I really like this movie and I'm glad to have it. Criterion did a really good job on this. I had to open it up right away. This is from the director Alex Cox, who did Waxworks 1 and 2. Not other movies, obviously, but this is a really cool movie. It's one that I watched a lot as a kid, and it's just so fucking bananas weird. About a guy who has like plutonium in the back seat of his car, and it's like aliens and like a bunch of crazy shit. It's just like a coma favorite. You just gotta watch. You just gotta enjoy. But I like it a lot. Very cool.
Who knows where?
Eyes melt, skin explodes, everybody dead.
Up next, we got another 4K of Possession. This one, man, woo! This is the Umbrella one. Resolution sent this one out. This has got Sam Neill and Isabella Hajani, who does one of the more insane performances in this movie that a lot of people have talked about for many years. This is kind of a metaphorical, artsy, fartsy kind of film, so a lot of people don't really get it or understand it, but it's essentially about relationships in a way. And boy howdy, do they get into some relationships with the underworld and the gods of the deep even. This movie is fucking bananas, man. Like, and I believe that this was actually made during a time when there was like war going on, so when they were shooting this, so it's really bananas how they got it done. But yeah, really cool to have this artwork on 4K to see it how it's supposed to look. Up next, we got another franchise, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Collection. Now this is not they didn't remaster a lot of these films. They kind of up-res some of them. The quality is all over the map on this one, but it does have all the way up to Wes Craven's New Nightmare. It has a retrospective of Fear himself, the life and crimes of Freddy Krueger. Also got 2 episodes of Freddy's Nightmares in here as well, which, you know, really needs another release, but 7 films. You know, if you're a fan of this is actually pretty cool. I really wish that they would do this set justice a little bit more, but it's still nice to have them. Up next, we got Blood and Snow, which I did a review of. This is from Cleopatra. They do records and they also do movies, and they've been doing a lot of horror films that you can check out, and I did a review of this. Wasn't a big fan of this one, but I was very fair about it. Up next, a fantastic underground sort of a love horror film. If you've never heard of this movie, Low is a movie that is about this guy who is just having a terrible time with relationships, and he summons a demon and it helps him to fall in love. It's kind of got a really big twist to it, but I think this is really good indie filmmaking, and I haven't seen it in a very long time. I really feel like this deserves actual Blu-ray, but I'll take a DVD copy any day because I never had it, and I'll be reviewing this in the future. Thanks, Resolution. Up next, we got Doberman, which is a really bizarre action film with Vincent Cassel and Monica Bellucci. It's a film by Jan Koonen, who is a Netherlands director who worked on, like, he was a director for music videos. He actually did like 4 or 5 different like erasure videos from the 80s. Came up with this really bizarre movie called Doberman that was like super stylish and kind of wild and crazy. This is one that I have never seen, but the trailer alone looks really cool, and this just came out recently on Region B. I'm glad to have this in my collection because this just seems totally up my alley. Up next, we got Top Line, which I just did a review of, along with Off Balance. These are Cauldron Films releases. I did a video on both of them, describing both of them and what's inside, if you want to check that out. We also got Soul Survivor, which is a really underrated, weird movie. It's kind of vibey. It's like the end of the world, and there's something going on with like some aliens or something in there. But this is the Blu-ray copy from out of the country, and it's all region, but it does have it in English so that you can, you know, understand it. But yeah, this is a wild, weird movie that is just kind of like a one-off that someone did, and I can't remember who the director was. But yeah, I've seen some of this, and it's really actually not too bad. Up next, I got like a copy of the Cube movie on Blu-ray with one of the other movies that the director did, and then he got me Cube 2, Hypercube, and Cube 0 on DVD because that's the only ones I think they have. There might be a Blu-ray of Hypercube, but I don't remember. And we got another franchise, which some of these I already have, but we'll figure out what to do with them. We got a 4K copy of Return of the Living Dead, The Return of the Living Dead Part 2, which I also just did a review of. Return of the Living Dead in the Vestron series Blu-ray. We also have Return of the Living Dead. This is the Rave to the Grave movie. One of these are kind of bad, but they have an acquired taste to them. Like this one in particular is Return of the Living Dead Necropolis, which I kind of like for some reason. You know, they're kind of bad. They get like progressively worse, but I think that they're not so bad. You know, like they're okay. You can watch them. Not compared to the first one. Let's be honest. All right, we're getting down to the end. So up next, we got Pan's Labyrinth in 4K. Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth Fable movie with some of the best creature work design stuff that you've ever seen. Some people were not a fan of the story of this, but I think it's a lot better than people give it, you know, credit sometimes. And some people absolutely love this movie. In 4K, I'm sure it's amazing. Up next, we got The Pit and the Pendulum. That's right. This is the Stuart Gordon film with Lance Henriksen, Jeffrey Combs, Oliver Reed, and so many more. Pretty cool stuff here. I haven't seen this in forever, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. Up next, we have Taxi Hunter, which is a 88 Films movie. You can kind of see it on the back there. But they've been putting out these movies that are pretty fucking cool. But yeah, I really enjoy these Hong Kong releases that they're putting out. This has Anthony Wong in it. It's not like a super graphic like category 3 one, but I'm gonna be reviewing it, and it's kind of like an action crime movie that's really good, that not a lot of people are talking about. So I'm looking forward to checking it out and telling you guys about it. Love these like gray cases that they have for them. 88 Films has been putting out a lot of like really great stuff as of lately. So we'll check that out in the future. Thank you, MVD. Another one from MVD Entertainment and 88 Films is Human Lanterns. This is a Shaw Brothers crime film that is bananas about like humans being eaten or something. Going to be reviewing this as well, and I'm looking forward to talking about it because I love me some Shaw Brothers. That's already out. Both of those are already out, by the way, if you're looking to pick them up. We also have Tarkovsky's Criterion release of Stalker, which is a mind-expanding movie that some people absolutely adore. I find it's an acquired taste for many. It takes a few viewings to really kind of grasp onto. It literally puts you intentionally through the ringer in the beginning of the movie to see if you're a fan of the film. Which it sounds ridiculous, but yeah, that's kind of what it does. It like intentionally wants to see if you're actually a film fan. But Stalker is a sci-fi classic that many movies and books and movies have been inspired by. There's like multiple different games. There's a new Stalker 2 coming out. There's a ton of fan fiction that have been written about this. So there is something good about this. If you don't stick around to the end, that you will find that is pretty interesting and kind of crazy. It's amazing how this film was made. So I'm fascinated with Tarkovsky. Resolution was like, I'm surprised you wanted that film, and he's kind of right, because I kind of nod off pretty easy. So, but we got American Psycho on the uncut version on 4K, which this is just a fantastic film. I mean, it is dark, but nowhere near as dark as the novel, by the way. But yeah, we got another one here. It's called Arcade. It's a screenplay by David Goyer, by the way, which is just bananas, who did, you know, Batman versus Superman, Man of Steel, Dark Knight Rises, Blade 2. But yeah, this is one of the movies that was in the 90s, virtual reality stuff, you know, the craze that went on then. We covered this very early on in our podcast and talked about it, but I'm glad to have a copy on DVD.
Congratulations, Alex. You've almost made it to the final level.
Woo! So that was everything, guys. Now, yeah, I don't normally get hauls like this. In part, me and MVD and other companies sending this out, but most largely in part to Resolution, which he's probably going to hate me for mentioning him again. But thank you, man. If I forgot somebody or something, please forgive me. That was a lot to go over. I absolutely love collecting movies, and I believe in physical media, and I just think it's important to like have these. I love physical media because of the extras that are on these discs and the ability to pop it on any point in time and just go to it at any point in time and not have to search for it online. And I hope you appreciate it too. And I hope that I've opened up some doorways for some of you guys to maybe experience some of this. If not, no problem. Even if it's just for you to find these movies and support them, that's super cool too. But I would love to hear, what is your favorite stuff in this pile of amazingness that was given to me? I really appreciate everyone. I've never thought I would get to this point where I have this much material to be able to cover and talk about. Thank you guys so much. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please sign up for the VIP club so that you can get involved in that in the future. But yeah, thanks for coming by, guys, and as always, long live the void.